Consider an elliptical orbit for a planet around the Sun. Well, the point in the orbit closest to the Sun is perihelion, and the point farthest from the Sun is aphelion. So by the conservation of angular momentum, the velocity at aphelion is smaller than the velocity at perihelion. And energy is conserved in an elliptical orbit because you only have one conservative force acting on the planet, being the gravitational force. So therefore the energy at perihelion is the sum of the kinetic and the potential energies, and this is the same as the energy at aphelion. And then from the conservation of angular momentum, we can substitute with the velocities into these expressions. And then subtracting the second equation from the first, and factoring out L squared on M, then doing a bit of algebra, we can replace these terms. And now we can factorize this difference of squares. Then we can do some cancellations. And therefore L squared on 2m can be written as follows. And we can factor out L squared and m in this expression. And then if you do some algebra, you'll be able to write the total mechanical energy as follows. And Ra plus Rp is equal to the length of the semi-major axes of the ellipse. And this is the total mechanical energy at any point in that orbit. 5 Newton's second law in polar coordinates. So suppose we have a particle that moves from one position to another in some infinitesimal time interval dt. Well, the position of the particle can always be described using the radial distance from the pole multiplied by the unit radial vector. And if we differentiate this with respect to time, we get the velocity of the particle. So we use the product rule. And here the unit vector r changes direction to r dash, and therefore by vector addition this distance is dr. And this angle between those vectors is d theta. So we can rewrite dr as follows. Where dr is in the theta direction. And then dividing through by dt, we can rewrite this derivative as follows. Where this is the angular velocity. And if we differentiate the velocity with respect to time, we get the acceleration. So again, using the product rule, so we already had an expression for dr dt. And d theta dt can be obtained in a similar way. And now substituting for this derivative, and now we can group the terms in the radial and theta directions. And now we can write Newton's second law in the radial direction. So force is mass by acceleration. And in the theta direction, we have a similar expression, where m is the mass of the particle. Let's show that energy is conserved in an elliptical orbit. So the total mechanical energy is 1/2 by the mass by the speed squared, which is the same thing as the dot product between the velocity vector and itself. Then plus the change in gravitational potential energy. We use the reference at infinity, and ms is the mass of the Sun, and the planet with the mass m has a radial distance of r from the Sun. So evaluating the dot product, we obtain the following expression. And then we can differentiate the energy with respect to time, where you can apply the chain rule and the product rule. And then we can cancel out the 2's, and then group the first two terms together, while factoring out the radial velocity. And then using the acceleration as a guide, we can rewrite this term as follows. And then grouping this term with the first one, then we can group this term with this one. And don't forget about mr dot. So we factor out mr theta dot to get the expression in this form. And finally, we can group the gravitational term with this term. And take the mass inside the bracket for this expression. So this is the acceleration in the radial direction, and this is the acceleration in the theta direction. So by Newton's second law, this expression is 0, and so is this expression. So therefore energy is conserved in an elliptical orbit.